What's up, homies? This is Jokesta back at you with a brand new video. This video is sponsored by Call of Duty Mobile. Click the link in the description down below. There's a brand new battle pass that's available right now, and it's the season 2 battle pass. They got a bunch of cool skins. A little quick shout out to Cygnoux for hooking me up with these gunsmiths. Let's get right into it. Honorable mention, it is the HVK-30. Now the HVK-30 is still one of the best guns in the game. It's just the only downside of using the HVK is that it needs a lot of required skill. Basically, you need good aim and you need to have trigger discipline to make it the best use of it. So if you're out there thinking about using the HVK, just make sure to spend your bullets wisely, because this thing is very interesting and it's very powerful, but you run out of bullets. It's only 24 bullets. So yeah, anyways, that is the honorable mention. Let's go ahead and move on to the top number 10 on the list. And top number 10 on the list, this is the gunsmith that we have here. We got the task force barrel, the agile stock, double stack mag, firm grip, agency suppressor. You can use that, or you can use disabled. I'm using disabled for the Peacekeeper. Now the Peacekeeper has been good gun to use over the past couple months, and this features a harder recoil pattern, which wasn't as easy to control as some alternatives. But why Peacekeeper hasn't been used much is, however, the season Peacekeeper got a recoil buff, making it easier and more accessible to use. So if you're out there using the Peacekeeper, it's kind of like a flex AR, meaning we can play like aggressive with it or a little passive with it, and basically from close range to long range. And it has a good BSA, it means it's faster AR mobility, faster ADS speed, and so on, making it really great gun to use and play around this season. So I definitely highly suggest you guys to try it out, give it a shot. Go ahead and play some matches with it, see if you're comfortable with the Peacekeeper. And also don't forget, you have to strafe around with it as well. So when you're aiming down sight, try to strafe while you're aiming down sight, like meaning moving your joystick left and right. And it helps you get the kill, and also it makes it harder for the enemy to actually hit their target because of the disabled perk. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to top number 9 on the list is the Fennec. Now the Fennec gunsmith are the mono suppressor, MIP light barrel, extended mag, 5MW laser, and the rubberized grip. So these are the attachments for the Fennec. Now the Fennec is a true aggressive SMG. Now I would say the QXR and the QQ9, but right now the Fennec is a true aggressive SMG, because when we start to play out its niche zone, we lose most of our gunfights. So it has the best base for hip fire accuracy to help us win many close quarter gunfights by simply hip firing. And it also has a fast mobility, the best in the class. Fire rate makes it missing shots more or less punishing than other weapons like the QQ9 and the MX9. And overall, except for guns like the CBR4 and the PPSh, the Fennec will be the next best SMG to use. So aside from all that, the Fennec is pretty great. It's a great weapon to mess around with, but it's definitely on a top number 9. Moving on to top number 8 on the list is the Type 25. Now the Type 25 is the best gun to use previous season, but with the nerfs on this season, it's the stats and the attachments has fallen from grace, and it's still a pretty good gun to use. Why it maintains its position in the top 10, but it's not what it used to be. People will prefer other guns over it now. So if you're out there looking for the Type 25, it's decent. It's not the best, it's all right, but it's top number 8 for sure. I've been using the Type 25 because I'm still used to the previous season, how I played with it. It's a really good aggressive assault rifle. You know, I like to get into people's faces up close and play with the Type 25. It does really well, but for sure now that there's definitely better weapons to use over the Type 25, I've been losing my gunfights to them because they're using better weapons than the Type. So anyways, Type 25, still one of the best guns to use, listed as top number 8. So yeah, it's a great weapon, but we're moving on. Top number 7 on the list is the Holger 26. Now this is the attachments for it. We got the tactical suppressor, no stock, disabled, granulated, tactical laser, etc. So this is the Holger 26. It was pretty good, you know, for a couple seasons, but I'm surprised that people still use the Holger 26, especially Garena. Garena has been using it all the time, and Holger is the best overall LMG to use, period. It's the best LMG. If you're looking for an LMG, this is the best one to use. Ever since the Holger got introduced, it's maintained its spot in the meta. Let's think about it. For a couple seasons now, the Holger has been up there on a top 10 for a while now. It features a ridiculous 40% ADS movement buff with the no stock attachment that gives the AR like a strafing while maintaining all LMG advantages such as the 100 round mag, best in the class wall bang penetrations, and also improved pinch stability. The weapon has great fire rate. Competitive time to kill makes this one of the best automatic guns in the game. So if you're out there thinking about it, go for it, dude. The Holger is crazy. If you haven't watched my video with the Holger I recently made, you should. It's super great. I love it a lot. So yeah, it's definitely one of the guns that I'm going to be using in the near future for competitive games. Whatever happens, I'm going to definitely use it in the tournament, or maybe assault rifles, I don't know. Well, this is definitely going to be on one of my lists. Moving on to the top number 6 is the PPSh. Now, when it first came out, I was kind of skeptical on it. I was like, all right, well, is it going to be that good? And it's actually top number 6 on this list, so it's considered one of the best as well. So the PPSh is one of the best weapons to use for playing aggressively. If you're an aggressive player, go for it. If you're passive, it's kind of hard to play around with this one. It has a great stats for playing close range, but the recoil pattern can be a little bit challenging to use at longer range. Why playing it aggressively for a running gun playstyle works better for it. And as you guys can see this gameplay, I'm like popping off. The mobility is one of the fastest in the game. And this is something that fits my playstyle. I like to have a crazy mobility, and it's slightly slower than the melee weapons and the multi builds that can be built from the hipfire focus to hybrid to ADS build. So it's kind of like a mix between everything. It has a crazy mobility, which is one of my favorite things, and it kind of fits my playstyle the most. Out of all these weapons, the PPSh right now fits my playstyle. Moving on to top number 5 on the list is the M13. It is the mini barrel, no stock, the 40 blackout mag, disabled perk, and tactical laser. M13 is one of the easiest ARs to use while also being one of the best guns to use this season. The M13 features a really easy recoil, high fire rate, which is faster than the SMG like the CBR4, and has good BSA, good effective range to play longer range if needed. And we can actually have a flexible playstyle with the M13 compared to the only playing aggressive, style. The only con about the M13 is the bullet speed of this weapon. It makes it worse to use at range compared to other guns. Overall, this is a really good gun. I like playing a lot with the M13 this season. I played it a few times in Search and Destroy, and it helps me out to clutch up some games. And I definitely recommend it. If you're out there looking for a good weapon, the M13 is the way to go. I really think the disabled perk helps out a lot. Moving on to top number 4 on the list is the SVD. Now this is the gunsmith for the SVD. We got the tactical suppressor, skeleton stock, the 15 extended mag, FMJ optic is the 4 times, which I really love to use on any of the guns, honestly, especially assault rifles. But moving on is the SVD is not as good as a semi-auto rifle compared to SKS. Both can be used like smartly, but main feature of the SVD is the ability to one-shot kill in 40-meter range with the same hitbox as the Locust. Head, chest, and arms are all one-shot kill area. This makes it play like a one-shot sniper rifle, which allows you to spam multiple shots rapidly with low recoil. It's like a better version of the Arctic 50, if not one-shot kill. We can have infinity 2-shot range, but the difference in our fire rate is slower than the SKS. So we need to have more accuracy, and we can't spam the weapon as mindlessly. So when you're out there, just try to tap and try to make sure your shots actually land, and try to make sure the recoil kind of goes down a bit before you take a second shot. So time your shots when you use the SVD. Top number 3 on the list is the SKS. I'm using this gunsmith. Honestly, I definitely recommend you guys to use the tactical suppressor, the MIP light, skulker stock, tactical grip, and granulated. These are all the attachments that I'm using, and honestly the SKS is the best when it comes to a semi-auto. We have a 40 meters of initial range where it can easily kill in 2 shots. Yeah, that's crazy. If we can hit that 1 shot to the upper body, fire rate is fast, which makes it a spammable weapon, and missing shots is less punishable compared to other semi-auto rifles. And the only issue is the flinch. Whenever we get hit, we can fix that with the attachments, and the SKS is a solid choice for a more passive holding angle style of a play. we can't go wrong with this DMR. But the whole point is that the SKS is more of a passive play style. If you're playing a tournament or a scrim, or you're playing with your friends like a ranked game, the SKS is really good to hold down angles, and you're set. So moving on to top number 2 is the CBR4. Now the CBR4 is an excellent all-around SMG that allows for a versatile playstyle. The CBR4 was identical in stats to the Type 25 previous season, but the Type 25 nerfed this season. The CBR4 is the better gun overall. It's mainly used for aggressive playstyle while still having good recoil on the BSA for taking a longer range gunfights. And one thing that sets CBR4 apart from the other SMGs is that it features an AR level penetration on the SMG, making the FMJ an usable option for wallbang. So if you're out there, think about it. The only downside for the CBR4 is that the recoil is kind of hard for me to get used to. I'm not sure about you guys, but if you're out there and you have a crazy good play style, you can probably kick everybody's butt with this. If you understand how to control the recoil and you have that play style, you're gonna probably be the best CBR4 player in the game. Moving on to the top number 1 is the Kilo 141. Now the Kilo 141 is overall the best gun to use this season. It features a very good effective range, making it suitable for playing close range to longer range, and it has the best BSA to take advantage of this range. Builds are also versatile, ranging from aggressive builds to main AR builds, but we have a free slot for disable perks, which makes it easy to be accurate even at range. Recoil also has the recoil was the only concerning thing about this weapon last season, and that got fixed up pretty quick with this season. So it's easy to beam with. The gunsmith that I'm rocking on this is the mono suppressor, the no stock, the mag B disabled perk is really needed on this thing, to be honest, and a tactical laser. So these are all the attachments that I'm currently using for the Kilo 141, and I've been practicing on the streams, and the Kilo 141 is definitely my go-to weapon when I need to clutch up a 1v5 in search and destroy, or if I need a very quick easy game, I would use the Kilo 141. It's definitely really good. I'm just surprised that not a lot of people are using the Kilo 141 right now, because they don't really know what is the top number 1 gun. But now that you guys know about this, you guys can actually get this advantage before anybody else knows. So that's why you guys should subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That way you guys get alerted on which is the best weapons to use. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel, put the notifications on. That way you guys get alerted on the next upcoming top 10 videos, and I'll see you guys in another one. Peace out.